Have a look. Right here in my lawn, I have some yarrow. Yarrow is a beautiful wildflower, and it's very distinct by these sort of fur-like properties it has on its leaves. So I have some neutralized in my lawn, and it does provide some beautiful flowers later on in the season. Yarrow, in essence, it's a wildflower, it's a plant, but it's meant to be very nutritional and a natural herb. Some beneficial properties in this herbal plant. I use it just because of the beauty, but today I want to actually dig some of this out from the lawn and pot it out into a separate container, and so that's what I'm going to be doing at this moment. Look at the lovely lush green grass, and it doesn't require any pesticides, no herbicides. I mean, think about it. In nature, Mother Nature just provides. There's no requirement for pesticides, herbicides, weed killers, and such. Just let nature do its own. But absolutely, I do understand that in certain areas you want to make spaces for yourself and your family to be manageable and to your requirements. I do get that. But when I look closely at this lawn, there's no need for those harsh chemicals. I also understand, I also understand those who feel that a lawn is easy. But there are others who think that lawns are actually high maintenance. It depends which way you view things. On one hand, lawns can be high maintenance if the customer or the person wanting the lawn would like it to be free of wildflowers. Look closely, I can see some clover in here as well, and no doubt so many other wild plants growing here. There's a dock leaf not far away, and so some people view the lawn as being something that is free of all types of alternative plants except for grass. I'm not one of those people, but I was once upon a time. I was when I first started gardening over 20 years ago or so. I used to think that a lawn was only a lawn if it didn't have any other vegetation in it. So to each their own. I'm going to take out some of the yarrow and pot it on. Okay, these are my compost bins, or some of them I should say. Remember, I think I did a video, I'm sure I did, and if I can find it I'll be sure to link it somewhere or to guide you there. But I cut out the base of an ordinary wheelie bin, having purchased it first, and then replaced the base with this metal mesh on both sides and secured it. So if I choose to make compost with particular type of foliage or cuttings, then what I'm able to do is just throw it into these containers and leave it in a corner in the garden and allow it to decompose. So in the video you'll see where I've been able to do that so successfully in the past. And the worms can come in, nothing like the rodents or anything can come through, but the worms can come through, do the magic that they need to do, and then I've got compost ready for me in a wheelie bin. And it just means I can also wheel the ready-made compost into different positions. It makes it nice and easy for me to maneuver. For me, I definitely find that being in the garden and being connected with nature to be so therapeutic in so many different ways. Sometimes it's hard to really describe. Yes, we hear the studies and we understand that there are scientific and clinical tests and evidence and proof after proof that, of course, being connected with nature is very beneficial to our health. But I do understand and respect that it's not always possible. It could be because of limitations. It could just be because there may not be access to the outdoors, or it could be because of how we're feeling at different times, and that it's not always easy to connect with nature. So I really do appreciate that. Knowing even myself and my journey, how when I was really very young, I enjoyed being outside in the garden, but maybe there were those sort of, teenage, early 20s. I couldn't care less about connecting with nature or being outdoors at all. But now that I found the garden again, or maybe it's found me, I'm not sure which way round, it's just incredible. And I really want to always thank you all for stopping by and supporting me on my channel that is growing. And I'm so grateful, I really am. So this is an area that actually is or was my lawn area. I've said in many of my videos, I don't much care for lawns anymore. Also because I'm a beekeeper. So to be very honest, leaving the grass to grow and the wildflowers to come and accommodate this space means that my bees are getting some fabulous nectar. So this is me just digging out some of the yarrow, and I'm going to plant them in some containers, but also in different areas around the garden. On the subject of wildflowers, here are some red clover, some wild strawberries, dandelions, this is one of my tree peonies. Just look at the pollen and the nectar in this flower. All the beneficial insects love coming here. And the honeybees, they love it. They collect the pollen and store in the beehives and the nectar as food. Okay, so it's time to start planting out the yarrow in strategic places around the garden. At the pond area, where the bees will come to gather water, it's very important that they always find pollen and nectar for the beehives and for themselves. So here, I'm just going to scratch the surface, dig some holes, and plant out the yarrow around the pond area. To ensure that there are lots of opportunities for the different bees to collect nectar and pollen during this season, I'm planting some more of these wildflowers or yarrow around the garden. Here, I'm planting them in a container. And here I am just planting more of the wildflowers around the garden to ensure that over time that they will multiply and provide the beneficial insects with what they need to thrive. This area here is my perennial flower border, and it's looking really beautiful at the moment. I will be sure to do an update on this particular area where you saw me planting the pyracanthus hedging earlier on in the season. But the whole idea of this video was really to demonstrate flowers, weeds, are they the same thing? Because really they are. Weeds are simply flowers that are growing in places that you don't want them to be. But do they have benefits to the garden? Absolutely, absolutely. To ourselves, to nature as a whole, and certainly to the beneficial insects. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. So there we have it. Yarrow, one of nature's amazing medicinal herbs, aka a wildflower, aka a beautiful flower and a beautiful gift that I've removed from areas in the lawn and I put it around the garden. And sometimes we human beings really think we know better, but nature knows best. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.